Hello, Los Angeles Dodgers fans. We've got fresh, exclusive videos and the latest updates just for you. Before we dive in, make sure to join our channel and hit that like button. This is the best way to stay on top of all the breaking news. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're witnessing this season is nothing short of legendary. Shohei Ohtani continues to prove, night after night, that he's not just a generational talent. He's rewriting the very definition of greatness in baseball. On a wild Friday night against the Arizona Diamondbacks, Ohtani stepped up once again in the biggest moment of the game, launching a 3-run bomb in the ninth inning to seal a 14-11 comeback win for the Dodgers. That wasn't just a home run, it was a statement. Ohtani went 3-4-6 in that game with 2 doubles and 4 RBIs. But this wasn't just another big night for the two-way superstar. It was the kind of performance that prompted Dodgers manager Dave Roberts to utter something that sent shockwaves through the baseball world, a direct comparison between Shohei Ohtani and none other than Barry Bonds. That's right, Barry. Freaking Bonds. Now, before anyone jumps in the comments to scream blasphemy, let's take a moment to really unpack what Roberts said. Speaking to reporters after the game, Roberts didn't mince words. He said, between him and Barry Bonds, they're the 2 best players I've ever seen. I played with Barry, but what Shohei does in the clutch, I've never seen anything like what he does in the clutch. That's an enormous statement coming from someone who shared a dugout with Bonds during his playing days with the Giants. We're talking about Barry Bonds, the all-time home run king, a 7-time MVP, and arguably the most feared hitter to ever step into a batter's box. Yet here we are, with Roberts not only mentioning Ohtani in the same breath, but suggesting that in clutch moments, Ohtani might even surpass him. That's not hype. That's history talking. And Roberts isn't just throwing out praise lightly. The Dodgers skipper has seen a lot of baseball, played with legends, managed superstars, and guided championship-caliber teams. So when he says Ohtani does things in the clutch he's never seen before, you better believe it's coming from a place of authenticity. And if you've been watching the Dodgers this season, you already know what he's talking about. Time and time again, Ohtani has been the man stepping up when everything is on the line. This isn't about padding stats in blowout wins. This is about delivering when the game, the momentum, and the pressure are all hanging in the balance. That game-winning homer in the ninth wasn't just dramatic. It was vintage Ohtani. What makes this even more incredible is that Ohtani is doing all of this while still recovering from elbow surgery, with plans to return to pitching in 2025. That means everything he's doing right now is strictly on the offensive side. No towing the rubber. No striking out batters with a 101 miles per hour fastball. And yet, he's still managing to completely dominate the game. Through 39 games, he's slashing an insane .308/.410/.641. That's 8 doubles, 4 triples, 12 home runs, 21 RBIs, and 10 stolen bases. And we're not even halfway through May. Those are video game numbers. And he's doing this while adjusting to a new team, new city, and the expectations that come with being the biggest star on the most-watched team in baseball. And just when you think it can't get crazier, it does. Remember his walk-off home run earlier this season against the Braves? Yeah, that one happened on his bobblehead night. You literally can't script that kind of moment. Ohtani is becoming the guy who shows up when it matters most, with a flair for the dramatic that's pure Hollywood. That's why Roberts' comparison to Bonds starts to make a whole lot more sense. Because what made Bonds so legendary wasn't just the home runs or the walks or the stats. It was the fear he put into pitchers. The moment he stepped up to the plate, the game changed. And we're now seeing Ohtani evoke that same kind of response. But let's zoom out for a second and appreciate the context here. This isn't just about one game or one homer. The Dodgers win over the Diamondbacks wasn't just wild. It was historic. According to MLB, LA became the first team in the modern era since 1901 to have a lead, lose that lead, go ahead by at least 5 runs, then fall behind by 3 or more, and still come back to win the game. That's not a roller coaster. That's a full-on theme park. And who was the guy who capped off that wild ride? Shohei Ohtani, the man who turned chaos into celebration with one sweet swing of the bat. Of course, we can't ignore that the offense had to go nuclear that night partly because of a rough outing from Roki Sasaki. Making his first start of the season, Sasaki gave up 5 runs in 4 innings on just 5 days rest. It wasn't the debut many were hoping for, but in a weird way, it just made Ohtani's heroics stand out even more. Because when your starting pitcher struggles and you're down big in a late-inning firefight, you need someone to be the hero. And Ohtani didn't just rise to the occasion. He owned it. That's what separates stars from superstars, and superstars from legends. Let's also give credit where it's due. The rest of the Dodgers lineup came to play too. It was a total team effort to pull off that win, with hitters up and down the order contributing to the offensive explosion. But there's a reason all eyes were on Shohei. There's a reason he was the one the cameras panned to, the name that trended on Twitter, and the face plastered across highlight reels. Because when you're the guy who swings the bat in the bottom of the 9th and sends it soaring into the night, that's your moment. And Ohtani owns moments like that. So what's next for Ohtani and the Dodgers? If history is any indication, we're only scratching the surface. Ohtani's still got an entire summer ahead of him, with the potential to put up one of the greatest defensive seasons we've ever seen and set the stage for a return to the mound next year that could redefine modern two-way play. The comparisons to Bonds may have started as a compliment from Roberts, but the more this season unfolds, the more it feels like we're witnessing the evolution of a legacy that might one day stand alongside, or even surpass, the likes of Bonds, Ruth, and Mays. So buckle up, Dodgers fans, because if you thought Shohei Ohtani's 2024 campaign was exciting already, you might want to hold on to your seats. This ride is far from over. And if Dave Roberts is right, if Shohei really is the most clutch player he's ever seen, then we're not just watching MVP-caliber baseball. We're watching something historic, something mythical, something that, years from now, we'll tell our kids about. The summer Ohtani became the guy in LA. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on news, so drop a comment below. Ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn because we've got a headline that nobody, and I mean nobody, saw coming. In a twist straight out of a Hollywood script, former President Donald Trump has reportedly made a statement that left both his supporters and critics raising eyebrows coast to coast. And no, it's not about politics this time. It's about baseball. That's right, Donald J. Trump, known for his no-holds-barred rhetoric and often divisive comments, apparently dropped a spice until someone brought up Major League Baseball, expecting Trump to rail against the league like he has in the past. But nope, not this time. According to a source who spoke anonymously, Trump took a pause and said something along the lines of, you got to give it to the Dodgers. They're doing a great job. Tremendous team. They know how to win. Now, for a man who's made a career out of praising winners and attacking anything he sees as woke or underperforming, this sounded more like a presidential nod than a casual remark. The room, apparently, went silent. A few chuckled, not sure if he was being sarcastic. But insiders say Trump doubled down, listing off players, management moves, and even praising the fan base. Wow, right? Now let's unpack this because there's a lot going on beneath the surface. First off, we know Trump has a love-hate relationship with the sports world. He's clashed with the NFL over player protests, taken shots at the NBA, and even criticized MLB's decision to move the All-Star game from Georgia. So, for him to praise a team from Los Angeles, the capital of liberal America in his eyes, isn't just unusual. It's borderline shocking. It begs the question, why the Dodgers? Why now? Is it strategic? Is it genuine? Or is it just another unpredictable Trump moment where he throws a wrench into conventional expectations? It could be a mix of all three. But what's clear is that this isn't just some throwaway comment. People are talking. Sports fans, political pundits, even late-night comedians, they're all picking this up. And it's not like the Dodgers are just some run-of-the-mill franchise. We're talking about a team with a legacy that stretches back over a century, with legendary names like Jackie Robinson, Sandy Koufax, and now a modern roster stacked with talent. They're perennial playoff contenders, and their front office is considered one of the smartest in the game. So maybe Trump, who has always admired strong branding and winning formulas, sees the Dodgers as the sports equivalent of one of his luxury towers: sleek, efficient, and successful. This could be Trump doing what Trump does best, aligning himself with success, regardless of where it comes from. And let's not forget, he is a New Yorker at heart. Baseball runs deep. There's always been a little respect in him for baseball's institutions, even if they don't align politically. But the political world wasn't quite sure what to make of this. Conservative outlets scrambled to interpret it. Some said it was a sign of maturity. Others wondered if Trump had an ulterior motive, like appealing to moderate voters in California. Meanwhile, liberal commentators accused him of being opportunistic, suggesting he's trying to soften his image ahead of 2024. But in the sports world, people were mostly just stunned. Social media lit up with posts like, "Trump likes the Dodgers now," and "What timeline are we living in?" It even made its way into the Dodgers' post-game press conference, with one reporter asking if the team had heard about it. Players laughed it off, but you could tell it was weird even for them. Trump isn't exactly the kind of guy you'd expect to pop up in Dodger Stadium chatter. Let's not underestimate the impact of a moment like this. In a country that's increasingly divided, politically, culturally, and yes, even in sports, seeing someone as polarizing as Trump compliment a team from one of the most liberal cities in the U.S. throws a curveball into our usual expectations. It's like Tom Brady saying the Jets have a solid QB. It forces fans and critics alike to reassess their assumptions. Is Trump mellowing out on some fronts? Is he trying to be more inclusive? Or is it a calculated move to draw attention and stir headlines? Because let's be real, if there's one thing Trump knows how to do, it's generate buzz. And nothing gets people buzzing like a statement that goes completely against the grain. One theory floating around is that Trump may be eyeing some kind of sports-related venture post-politics. Think about it. He's flirted with football leagues in the past, he's always loved big branding, and he thrives on media attention. Aligning himself with a successful, universally respected team like the Dodgers could be part of a broader play. Even if he never officially enters the sports arena, these kinds of comments plant seeds. They give him a chance to reframe his public image in front of audiences that may have tuned him out years ago. And honestly, in this media-saturated world, it works. One quote, one rumor, and suddenly the whole country's talking about Trump and baseball instead of indictments or polls. Of course, not everyone's buying it. There's already pushback from some die-hard MAGA fans who don't see the Dodgers as a team to admire. They bring up the MLB's past decisions, the city's politics, and wonder if Trump's losing his edge. Some forums even labeled the statement as off-brand, warning that he could be alienating his base. But others argued that it's actually smart, showing flexibility and unpredictability, traits that have always kept him one step ahead in the public arena. Whatever the intent, the reaction has been huge. It's rare that a baseball team gets this kind of political spotlight without scandal or controversy. But here we are. Trump just put the Dodgers on the national radar in a whole new way. And let's give some credit where it's due. The Dodgers are having an excellent season. Their farm system continues to produce gold. Their rotation is heating up, and the lineup's firing on all cylinders. Maybe Trump's just calling it like he sees it. Maybe this is one of those rare moments where politics steps aside and raw appreciation for performance takes center stage. It reminds us that sports still hold a unique place in American culture, a place where sometimes admiration can cross party lines, city rivalries, and personal grudges. For a moment, the game becomes the great unifier. And maybe, just maybe, that's what Trump was aiming for. Or maybe he just really likes Mookie Betts. Who knows? In any case, the Dodgers now find themselves in an unexpected spotlight. Not for a blockbuster trade, not for a historic win streak, but for a comment from one of the most talked about figures in modern history. Whether this moment fades as just another footnote in the chaos of American discourse or becomes a viral cultural snapshot, one thing's for sure. The blend of sports and politics has never been more unpredictable. And in a world where every comment is dissected and every motive questioned, the idea that Trump would tip his cap to the Dodgers might just be the plot twist none of us saw coming, but somehow makes perfect sense. Stay tuned, folks. Baseball season just got a lot more interesting. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.